Coming up on this edition of Flashtalk, as always, we're brought to you by Brian Heating and Cooling. We hit the diamond and talk some hardball with head ball coach Jeff Duncan about a crazy weekend at Toledo and look forward to hosting Ohio State. We hit the links with Casey VanDamme, talk about our women's golf program as they prepare for the MAC championship. Scotty Peace comes by to talk about all the promotional things coming up here this spring season. And we wrap going back to the diamond, the Divine Diamond, to talk some softball with head coach Jess O'Donnell. That plus a look at our busy week here at Kent State. That's all coming up in a flash. Back here in our GFTV studios, we're brought to you by Brian Heating and Cooling, talking some hardball with head coach Jeff Duncan off of a wild weekend in the Glass City of Toledo, where I don't think balls still have landed off the bats of either team.
Yeah, no, it certainly was a wild weekend. Especially it was on the good side for us on Sunday, hitting 10 home runs, but very windy weekend, full of different types of weather. It started out cold, and then there was rain, and then it got hot by Sunday. So we played in all types of different conditions, but I'm just happy we were able to scratch one out on Sunday after not playing. We played a doubleheader on Saturday and didn't play great on Saturday. However, had chances to win in game two, just didn't get it done. And then obviously on Sunday for us to respond, which we've done all year. And I'm proud of our team for that because we've had some tough, especially on the road. At home, we've played very, very well, and then on the road, it's been tricky at times. And then, when you lose the first two games, and that third game's huge for us to win, and we got it done by 10 home runs, basically, and a couple guys hitting multi-home runs. So 3 guys hitting multi-home runs.
Toledo, the weather of Toledo happened, and unfortunately the Rockets take that one. But for you guys to build off of that momentum, knowing that, hey, we can get these guys, we can hit, we're a good team. And then the storm back, you score 15 of the final 18 runs of the game, including a huge 10th inning. And let's not take away from the fact that you guys got some key outs and key situations in the 8th and the 9th to even get to extra.
100%. And the way we did it, we had some guys in the lineup that we hadn't normally played. We've been battling some injuries. We've probably got 6 or 7 injuries right now. And for a guy like Lance McDonald, who we put in a minute before the game started. It was a real late switch, and he gets 3 hits and hits 2 home runs for us. Drives in 4. It's awesome for a kid like that, especially a guy who has played a role of coming off the bench, and then he gets that opportunity and makes the most of it. And same thing with Peyton Ebbing, who we DH'd. He's a transfer from Tennessee. We got off the portal, but and a guy we haven't seen a whole lot of. And Toledo wasn't the greatest matchup for us because we've had 6, 7 lefties in the lineup at one time, and they've had 3 left-handed starters all year long, including their Friday guy, Umberger, who is arguably the best starter in the league. In my opinion, he was a SMAC pitcher of the week this week, and he's had a great year. He was probably the best guy we've seen up to this point in the league. So the matchup wasn't great, but for us, I thought, on Sunday, I thought we made some adjustments in the lineup, put more righties in there, and to see those guys play the way they did is really reassuring, especially moving forward, because I feel like we have a lineup that's suited well against a righty, and we're trying to figure it out against a lefty, and we haven't seen a whole lot of lefties until this weekend, and we're always growing and learning as the season goes on, and we haven't hit our stride yet. Obviously, we're 8-7 in the league. We're in the mix in the tournament. However, I'm looking forward to hopefully hitting our stride here soon.
Got Ohio State at home here this weekend after a quick trip to Penn State, and then you're back on the road again for pretty much the final time this season.
Yep, it's another park between Toledo, Bowling Green, Ball State, and Northern. Those 4 parks can get real finicky at times, and but sometimes it can play the opposite. I've been at Northern where when it's really nice, warm weather, the wind blows in and the ball goes nowhere. But when it's cold, the ball, flies out. So if you get a Northern wind, the ball flies. So the field's backwards, literally. But so that's a real tricky field to play in. You're exactly right. But however, it's the MAC. We got to be resilient, and we've got to be prepared to go in and compete at a high level for a 3-game series against Northern. Like you said, we're in a middle of a stretch where we're playing a lot of games. We're on the road a lot. So I'm really looking forward to, we go to Penn State tomorrow, and then we have Ohio State at home, weather permitting, and then we go to Northern Illinois. I'm excited about this week, especially coming off of the win that we had on Sunday.
Should be a lot of fun. Coach, let's talk again real soon, and hopefully about a bunch of ones in that left-hand column.
Absolutely. Thanks, Dan. Appreciate it.
Welcome back inside our Flashtalk studios. Dan Griffin. Going to hit the links with women's golf coach Casey VanDamme, and Coach coming off a relatively successful, what it looked like almost like a Big Ten Invitational that you guys crashed down at Columbus, where 11 Big Ten teams and you were right in the mix.
Yeah, we played good, particularly the first day with bad weather, and then didn't finish perfectly on the last day, but we're showing some good signs going into postseason here.
This is kind of a tune-up of sorts. Maybe not the same course, but obviously similar terrain and weather-wise kind of exactly what you expect. I don't think this was a coincidence that you planned the schedule this way.
No. Anytime we can go, we get invited to Ohio State's event, we're going to go to that one. That's a good one for us, just being just down the road. And then, we're playing there this weekend again, and the golf course is a really good championship golf course. We got the opportunity to play it last fall, and looking forward to it.
Well, obviously no pressure, but you've got a little bit of a streak on the line within the golf program. I mean, obviously that's got to be at least in the back of your mind, but how do you guys approach this week of preparation, knowing that all these tournaments lead up to this weekend?
Yeah, well, every golf tournament you play in is a big one, and the big thing we try to emphasize for the whole year is like be where your feet are, be in the present, and you get a trophy at the end, and there's a MAC championship on the line, but we want to just take it kind of shot by shot and hole by hole, and do the best you can and see what happens.
So there's really no change in preparation from if you're in a tournament down in North Texas as opposed to the MAC championship. It's still 54 or 72 holes depending on the event, and I guess that's good kind of tunnel vision because you treat every tournament with the same intensity.
Yeah, we talk about it, and we'll talk to the team about it before. Obviously, we have a streak that's a pretty impressive streak, and there's no denying that, and then everybody knows that. And does that bring a little bit of pressure? Sure, but we talk about it, and all streaks at some point end, and our goal is just that doesn't end this year. And same talk we had the last couple of years I've been here, and then we focus on what we need to do and what we can control and what we can't control. And our sport is very unique. We don't get to play defense, so we don't know how the other teams are going to play. We have to do the best we can do and control what we can control, and that's it.
Obviously, the major golf attention this past weekend was on the Masters, and you see all too often that golfers wilt under the pressure of the moment, or even on Thursday and Friday rounds. You can't win it on Thursday or Friday, but you certainly can lose it to where you kind of get on tilt, and a bad hole begets a bad hole type of thing. What's the mentality where you're constantly coaching and reminding them, hey, you need kind of that tunnel vision, clear that bad shot, let's recover, let's rally, let's put the best score we can on this hole and move on to the next one?
Well, I think it's getting more difficult with younger people. There's a lot more inputs there's a lot more social media. There's a lot more stuff coming out from all the other teams, and so they're constantly barraged by information. And so we talk about it year round. Is like what is stuff that you can control? What is it that you can't control? And just focusing daily on their habits of like, these are things they're within your power. Sometimes luck is part of our game, and you see it at the tour level, obviously, and especially in major championships, where people will do a great job for 3 of the 4 rounds, or even 3.5 of the 4 rounds, and then they can't quite. They get out of themselves and they start kind of being concerned with things that are beyond them. They can't do anything about, and so that's the goal, is just handle your own business.
One golfer was able to take care of business. Everybody else kind of fell by the wayside. how often are you reminding the golfers, hey, trust your routine, trust your process. The results are going to take care of themselves, to where, like you said, it's shot by shot, just going, hey, we've done this thousands of times. Just because it didn't work once doesn't mean it's not going to, the process has failed itself.
Yeah, well, constantly. Golf is a very mental game, and your energy levels, and it's also we just played 36 holes in bad weather, and you're out there for 12 hours. And if our game is also about how your poor shots. It's not who hits the best shots. It's like, how do you handle adversity? And so when you're out there for so long, just a half an hour stretch can kind of kill you. And so you're only as good as your worst part of your day. And so we stress that year round, keeping your energy level right, keeping your mindset right. And that's what we've done a better job lately, especially at doing that. And I look forward to more improvement here this week.
Well, it all gets started here this weekend down in the state capitol. And Coach, let's trust the process, because it's worked pretty much every single year this time of year. Let's keep it going.
Thank you very much for having me.
Welcome back inside our Flashtalk studios. As always, we're brought to you by Bryant Heating and Cooling. Dan Griffin talking some promos with head promo man himself, Scott Peace. I don't think that's your exact title, but
it should be.
It should be.
It certainly should. Glad to be back. Third appearance.
Well, we're so glad that you're able to make it. And first and foremost, some congratulations in order. You guys ran the numbers, and a huge spike in attendance through the first two seasons between fall and winter, and we're already trending the right way in the spring.
Yeah, big increase in several of our sports, like you said, both fall and winter. Wrestling actually had the biggest increase this year, 155%. Turns out people love hot wings, is what we've learned. It was our biggest lesson so far this winter. But yeah, across the board, seeing some really good attendance, doing some fun, creative things. So it's been fun to see.
And then obviously we'll talk a little bit about the sweet golf, or I should say football, or tailgating cooler in front of us. But this Saturday is the last open practice before Flash Bowl 2, and we're pandering to families and small children.
Yes, it's officially Kids Day with Kent State football on Saturday for their open practice. We're going to have some inflatables, bounce house, target practice. Really good energy. We've had 2 of these open practices already, a lot of fun. So be sure to bring out the family and get ready for the spring game, too.
That's at 2 o'clock inside the field house. If nothing else, you get to watch some high-action football and wear the children out.
That's true. As a father of 2, I know how important that is.
And then we've got softball this weekend, where you guys are literally doing a blowout for Fan Appreciation Day. If we've given it away, there's a decent chance you're going to find it this weekend at softball.
That's true. Yeah, Saturday is Fan Appreciation Day. We're going to run back a lot of our popular promotions, really over the last 2 years, actually. So a lot of fun stuff. Admission is always free at softball, so bring the family out, and we'll see you there.
And then this bad boy, we are giving away next Saturday. That is the 28th against anybody. It's us versus ourselves. It's the spring game. It's Flash Bowl 2, and it's going to be at Dick Stadium. It's going to follow Alumni Day for lacrosse.
Correct.
That's at 1 p.m., 6 o'clock-ish start to the Flash Bowl. But tell us about this sweet tailgating giveaway.
Yeah, so really excited about these coolers. Turning around here can actually be worn as a backpack as well, so perfect for the tailgates. We're going to have those for the first 500 fans at the tailgate. Really started last year trying to change the foundation of what the spring game looks like, make it more entertaining, make it more feel like a regular Saturday home game for us. So looking to continue that next year, and should be a lot of fun.
And then last and certainly not least, we have got the Diamond Visors, the Pit Vipers, that are really become a huge trend in baseball and softball. Now the fans can don that look as well.
That's true. Got them right here. We're going to have those given out at both baseball and softball this year. Baseball against Ball State, softball against the school down the road to close out the year later in May.
Fingers crossed, weather has been trending nicer, and there's no better way to spend a spring weekend than out watching some diamond sports.
That's true, and I think this is our last big kind of premium giveaway, so you don't want to miss it.
So Scott Peace doing the Lord's work when it comes
I'd say so. I'd agree.
When it comes to getting the fans out and making sure they have a fantastic time at any of our events. You have really expanded and made it for a phenomenal fan experience. So congratulations.
I appreciate that. Yeah, we're never satisfied though. Already planning for next year. Got some really cool things. I'm not quite ready to tease just yet, but maybe I'll come on for part 4.
There we go. We look forward to it. Scott Peace, come in and see him and all of us at your next home event and take away one of these sweet, sweet giveaways. More Flash Talk coming up right after this. Let's take a look at our busy weekly calendar here at Kent State Athletics. As always, it's brought to you by KSUTix.com. On Wednesday, our baseball team hosts the Ohio State University with a 6 p.m. first pitch at Schoonover Stadium. It's a gold out, so wear your gold and get a free gold rally towel for our first 100 fans. Our baseball team is on the road next weekend, taking on Northern Illinois out in DeKalb. Our men's golf team takes a quick trip down I-71 to Columbus to take part of the Robert Kepler Invitational hosted by Ohio State. The 3 rounds are each on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Our softball team is back home in the friendly confines of the Divine Diamond, welcoming in Bowling Green for a doubleheader on Saturday at 1 p.m. It'll be Fan Appreciation Day. And on Sunday, it's a 1 p.m. single game against Bowling Green. It is Youth Day and our Flashes will game. Spring football keeps rolling on. It's our open practice on Saturday inside the Fieldhouse at 2 p.m. It's Kids Day, so look for inflatables and other great events for your little ones. And our women's lacrosse team is on the road in the Motor City, taking on Detroit on Sunday at 1 p.m. For the latest news and notes on your favorite Kent State athletic programs, visit us on the web at kentstatesports.com. More Flash Talk coming up right after this. Welcome into our Flash Talk studios. We are brought to you by Brian Heing and Cooling. Dan Griffin talking some softball with head softball coach Jess O'Donnell. And coach, a tough weekend against Western Michigan, but good crowds, a good atmosphere, and it's always good to play on the Divine Diamond despite the results.
Oh, absolutely. Beautiful field, facility, and weather too. I mean, that was fantastic. 2 nice days, a little breezy out there, but couldn't ask for a better weather day. Just could have used a little more winds.
Well, let's talk a little bit about the state of the team as a whole. Obviously, your first season here. Just talk a little bit about how you felt the season is going, especially here in MAC play, and mainly the resilience of the team, because like you said, time and time again, you're going to play to that 21st out, and it shows in the efforts.
Yeah, I mean, it's a grind for sure, and only the top 6 teams are getting in that conference tournament, and we have to continue to have our eyes on the prize there of getting in, and who knows what can happen at that point. But we have to be better in the circle. We have to be better offensively and defensively. I think we made too many costly errors this weekend that cost us some runs, and we gave up that big timely hit, and we struggled to get our runners home as well. So we have to take care of all facets of our game moving forward.
Well, it's a busy week here this week. You guys have went on a trip to Buffalo, and now you're coming home for Bowling Green. At least now you get the extra day of rest, and it's a Saturday and Sunday series, but a lot of opportunity here. You got 5 chances to make up some ground.
Absolutely. And we're not taking any game lightly by any means. I think we're really in the thick of it right now, and many different things can happen, different shifts this weekend with the competition that we have. But again, we really have to be better in the circle offensively and defensively and play our game. I think we're trying to play everybody else's game and respond to whatever they're doing instead of playing our best game.
And let's talk a little bit about another return trip home. We got BG coming into town. We've got Fan Appreciation Day. Should be a great crowd. And then obviously always a lot of fun when it's Youth Day and Flashes Will Day, when we obviously celebrate the future of the future Flashes and obviously women's athletics as a whole. And
yeah, and I think too, the fans, the Youth Day, that's going to be so fun to have kids out and realizing that you were once in their shoes looking up to you, and let's go play for the love of the game. Let's go play for that little girl watching and praying and hoping to be you someday, and let's enjoy that moment, and then just enjoy having all the fans out there. What a great environment and a great scene, and let's just have some gratitude for those moments that we get to go out, step on that field.
Well, I'll ask you a fairly loaded question, but if the team plays best at fast and loose, how do you get them to block out scoreboard? Maybe a team gets a timely hit, and now you've got to respond, and so everybody kind of tenses up a little bit, maybe grips the bat a little bit tighter, and that may take them out of their game just a little bit. How do you get them to kind of block that out and have that goldfish mentality to where, all right, it's done, clear it, let's go do our thing?
Yeah, I think it's really taking one pitch at a time instead of picturing the big picture. Let's focus on what we can do and be your best at this very moment. And I think sometimes we look to big picture. Oh my gosh, we're down by 5 runs right now. It's a lot of ground to cover. What do we do? Instead of, hey, let's just work one at a time. Let's just get on base. Let's move you over and then let's score you. Let's work smaller instead of that big picture. Oh my God, we got to get 6 runs. No, let's get one at a time and work from there. And that's when we do best. Playing fast and loose, but again, I think we just have to take it one step at a time, one pitch at a time, and win that pitch.
We'll leave you here with this. Just when the fans come out, and especially when the youth come out, what do you want to see them to kind of see from your team? I'm going to let you kind of get back onto your soapbox again and preach the mission of this team for the fans that are going to come out and see it for the first time.
Yeah, I mean, we're getting there. I think it's one step at a time. We're building a culture. We're building something. Just keep coming out, keep watching us. And again, I keep telling our team, let's keep fighting. You get punched in the mouth, it's not over. Just get back up. We can do this. We got this. And again, play for that little girl on the side that wants to be you someday. Show them what it's like to not quit. Even if you get punched in the mouth, you get back up. You keep getting back up, keep pushing forward. I think that's so crucial, and that's really who we are and who we're trying to become, is just that team of fighters that is never going to quit.
Well, it all gets started here this weekend. We've got Bowling Green coming in. It's a doubleheader on Saturday, a single game on Sunday. Looks at least like good weather, but who knows here in Northeast Ohio. But let's hope for some sunny days and some big victories here at Divine Diamond.
Absolutely, absolutely. Come on out.
That's going to do it for this edition of Flash Talk, brought to you by Brian Heating and Cooling. Join us once again next week. We'll be taking another deep dive into the wonderful world of Kent State athletics. For all of us here inside our GFTV studios, this is Dan Griffin saying goodnight and go Flashes.